We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Hello. How's everybody doing? Little peasant chat. We talk to poor people that can't afford $5 a month to become actual members of the channel. We have so much to talk about. It's not even funny. And it might seem to the Ford purists, the people that really like Ford, that I'm just ragging on Ford nonstop. I wouldn't be ragging on them nonstop if they didn't keep coming out with the bad news over and over and over. You have seen in the last 3 to 4 days, nothing but bad news except for the F1 announcement, which I think it's mostly marketing, and it's smart. It's smart on their part. But that doesn't take away from the 90% loss year to year in revenue. The miles and miles of wire, unnecessary wires in the Mach-E and Lightning. And the 7.3 Godzilla lifter collapsing, or the delamination of the lifter roller only after 20-something to 30,000 miles. We'll talk about all that. Have a poll up to see which soda you want me to try. Might as well try something else. I got them all here, so whichever one. At about 10 o'clock, you guys decide you want me to take a sip of it. I've never tried these. I went to some ghetto-ass mart the other day, if you follow me on Instagram, and I just bought like some literal ethnic ghetto soda, and and I was like, let me just try these to see how nasty it is. They're all terrible for you. They're all super high in calories and carbs, so it's going to be a good time. So before we do that, before we get to it too much, we're going to go ahead and say hi to the sponsors. That's right. The sponsors need to get that shout out so that they can keep paying their bills so the disco ball keeps rolling. That's right. We got PMass, Nick James and PMass up there doing analog shit on his CUDA, on his old cars. He's lusting after old Hondas. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Just keep making map housings and sensors and we'll be happy. PMass, Nick James. 2 Auto Solutions. Rami Zaidan, 2 Auto Solution, took 2 GT500s to the track. They both ran, I think, low 10 and a high 9. I'm sorry, low 9. Hector's cars on low 9. And a TVS stick car, Luntoon, running 940s. I mean, really badass. Partsfarm.com got me some pedals. Thank you very much, Rob, for getting me some pedals. I got pedals for not Hush Money, Section 8. That's right, making it back into a stick. So getting the pedal assembly shipped to me. So it should be a Monday or Tuesday. Doma Got Cookies, domagotcookies.com, domagotcookies_LLC. And Calimer Transmission, Ben Calimer, calimertransmission.com with 3160 billet forks. New product coming out, so we'll talk about that on another show. But today we're going to talk so much shit on Ford. It's not even funny. And we'll talk about the F1 stuff and the implications of the F1 stuff. Like, does it matter? Do you give a shit? I don't care. Like, I literally don't give 2 shits. 2000 MCR, Manny Hernandez, Fresh Pasteles, Fresh Pastelazo, and El Pollo Loco were the first people to say hello on the chat today. Coyote Kelly, Donnie DeVille, Angel Puerto Rico, Nat Jew, JD Swag, one of the mods, Tango, good morning to you all. Diego Flores, RoboStyle, did it, TJ Sikorsky, Veggie, J35, Wesley Stewart, Rocco Zioli, Miniback Madman, Made of Stone 45, Flacco F150, The Black GT500, aka the Just F and Send It podcast, dude. Josh Roy, Ben Galley, Harley Tequache Mode, Agent Orange 302, Matt Oliver, Sam S550, Kylon, do shit it again, Nick Gunther, B. Lavesh, Mini by Madman, DG Brandon, Craven Moorhead says hello. David Parks, Nikki Figueroa, 661 Racing, Jason, oh word, 5 Liter Beater, Stu 414, Nitrous and Buy Supplies. My goodness. So many people on. Donkey Mac, Brian, Built 2JZ Lexus, Arturo, Nat Geo again, Jesus Perez, the Green RCSP, Donnie DeVille, Papi Chulo, Dylan K, the Black GT500 again, Oliver Bryan, and all the usual suspects, the Wolf 50, ATX, Cobra, Nat Geo, the Black Cat, Dr. Jotting, and 94 GT4, and Shad's World in the house. Okay, so where should we start? Should we start with Ford being down 90%? Let's do that. AP, February 2, 2023. Ford 4-quarter profits drops 90%. Company says more cost cutting coming. Ford Motor Company reported Thursday that its 4th quarter net income fell 90% than a year earlier, leading company officials to say that the automaker's costs are too high and pledge more belt tightening this year. CEO Jim Farley
Take that, Elon
said
Musk.
we should have done better last year, and it left $2 billion in profits on the table that were within its control. He said Ford will correct this and improve urgency and execution this
Take
year.
that, Elon Musk.
These are the simple facts. I say I'm frustrated as an understatement because
Take
the
that,
year could have
Elon
been so
Musk.
much more for us at Ford, Farley said.
Take that, Elon Musk.
The company said it's transforming its product development and manufacturing
Take that,
supply
Elon
chain
Musk.
to reduce costs.
Take that, Elon Musk.
We have deeply entrenched ourselves into our industrial system and have proven tough to root
Take
out.
that, Elon
He said
Musk.
the strength of our products and revenue has mastered this functionality for a long
Take that,
time.
Elon Musk.
The global shortage of computer chips and other parts hit Ford at the end of last year, costing its production roughly 100,000 vehicles that could have been sold.
Take that, Elon Musk.
CFO John Lawler told reporters, our cost structure is not competitive and our quality is not where it needs to be. Lawler said he and Farley
Take that, Elon Musk.
there'll be more white-collar layoffs, and the company needs to cut manufacturing and warranty costs. Lawler said about $1 billion of the $2 billion lost profits was due to lower production and lost sales. The other $1 billion was operational costs. He attributed the 60% of the production problem to the chip shortage, while the rest of it coming from part suppliers and trouble ramping up factories. It's something that we need to do a better job managing, though, he said, adding that it's hand-to-hand combat securing chips. If your vehicles were made better, if you had better products, if you were running the company, giving the customers what they want without trying to squeeze batteries into already existing chassis and frames, you wouldn't have lost nearly as much. This is 100% a failure in leadership. Not only because leadership has to do everything. Just like when Joe Biden gets blamed for everything wrong in the United States, so should the top brass. Chip problem, you saw that shit coming since 2020, okay? And supposedly, Ford has a ton of capital. The biggest thing that Ford has going for it, it's its money. It's its piggy bank. They got tons of fucking money. So you're telling me after the chip shortage, by the way, it's all made in China, most of it. So don't you think that's a fucking problem? Don't you think if you had ultimate control of the actual manufacturing of the chips, you wouldn't have an issue? Why does somehow Tesla is able to pump out nothing but electric vehicles all over the world and not really succumb to the chip shortage issue? That's the first thing we're going to talk about today. Then we're going to talk about the No. We're going to do this one. This one is like probably the most ridiculous story I've heard in a while. Where are we? Here we go. So the Mach-E, according to Ford, has a mile of wires it doesn't need. Jesus Christ.
Take that, Elon Musk.
Ford showed this week that it's not going to be an easy for traditional automakers to catch Tesla in the race to build better electric vehicles. Despite what Tesla doubters think, Ford CEO Jim Farley, of course,
Take that, Elon
was rather
Musk.
blunt about the problems that Ford experienced as it rolled out the hot EV models, the Mach-E and the F-150 Lightning. While both vehicles have a long list of waiting customers, Farley admitted Ford encountered numerous problems with their production. We didn't know that our wiring harness for the Mach-E was 1.6 kilometers longer than it needed to be. We didn't know it's 70 pounds heavier than it costs. Then that's a $300 battery. He said that on a call with investors Thursday. We didn't know that we underinvested in braking technology to save on battery size. Farley said these and other cost problems meant that Ford left about $2 billion in profit on the table. It's a sign those who predicted that Tesla would soon lose its advantage due to increased competition in EV offerings were basically wrong. They got ahead of themselves. The automakers have natural advantages of deep pockets like Ford, GM, and other. GM's pockets is basically the United States taxpayer. A large network of factories and sales channels and more than a century's worth of experience designing, building, and selling cars, but that doesn't mean that they can jump into the EV game just like that. Tesla is sitting at the top. So anyway, he says, well, we're making progress. It's hard work, said Farley, as with any transformation of this magnitude, certain parts are moving faster than expected and some are taking longer. So the Mustang Mach-E has a mile of wires that it doesn't need. Now, there is, that is a lack of, in my opinion, design. That's a design flaw. That's a planning flaw. That's a, I don't want to blame that solely on leadership, but when you design a brand new vehicle, you should take everything into account. So when you try to rush a vehicle out into the market to try to grab some of the Model Y's shine, and you make it only have full power for 5 seconds. Imagine that. Imagine you buy a Mustang Mach-E and it hauls ass for 5 seconds. and then it just trails the fuck off to save battery. Then you find out it's 300 pounds heavier than it needs to be because of the insane amount of wire. Then you find out it doesn't have as good of brakes as it should have because they were trying to offset the battery weight by saving on the brakes. Dude. If it was me ragging on Ford for no reason, I would understand. But this is just ridiculous. And finally, the coup d'etat. Ford Godzilla. And remember how I told you these are going to end up in box trucks and you guys thought I was stupid? Remember how I told you guys this is a fleet vehicle and you guys thought I was stupid? Fleet vehicle motor, you guys thought I was stupid? Well, check it out.
Godzilla.
Right here.
The 7.3 Godzilla, where cylinder 2 was 4%
I don't think that's how it's supposed to look.
low on compression, knocking kind of real bad when it came in.
This is from Ford Boss Me channel. Got 19,000 views. Pump up his channel. Come on, so he doesn't copyright me.
Once the cylinder head was pulled, the lifter would not come out of the bore. The bottom of it is mushroomed so bad it was stuck in the bore, and the bore is extremely pitted with like holes and score marks all up and down. And the top of the camo was shot completely.
So go ahead and tell me how awesome the Godzilla is. Go ahead and get yourself a junkyard Godzilla motor, throw it in your Thunderbird or your truck, and rag about how it runs 10 O's. And then tell me how you have to put a cam and lifters in it for it to be worth fuck all. This is embarrassing. A 30,000 mile, and according to the tech, the oil looked phenomenal. He goes, dude, the oil looked fucking great. Like I saw no issue with the oil, but it's just a bad materials issue. And Ford is just, I don't know if they're rushing things out there. I honestly told you guys I am off of the Ford train. And maybe you guys thought I was just being salty. I was just being, just a complete pain in the ass because maybe they did something to me personally. No, I am a Ford fan to the point of I'm okay with dumping Ford. Dumping them 100% if it means that others, not that others will follow because who the fuck am I? But if others take note as to a prominent Ford guy ditching Ford, new Ford, old Ford's fine, 20 and under fine. New Ford can suck my fat dick. Eventually people will stop buying their product. They'll start looking at other vehicles. You don't think that a couple of guys, just two or three, let's just say 5 guys looked at me and said, Alex bought a Corvette and he's having a bunch of fun with it. It's pretty fast for minimal mods. And he dumped his truck and is about to dump his 19 Mustang GT and get into a big V8 SUV that is not a Ford brand. Why is he doing that? He must have some knowledge that I don't. And if you start seeing what I'm seeing out there, you wouldn't touch new Ford. You wouldn't touch new Ford. If you saw what I saw, see the reports, really pay attention as to what's going on. And again, I'm not a GM or Dodge Stellantis fanboy. I am a Ford fanboy. But I'm such a fanboy that I'm willing to quit them for my own good, my own benefit, because I don't want to have to be part of the failures of their rollouts of the Lightning, of the Mach-E, and the Godzilla stuff. I told you those were duds from the get. I was having hope for the Mach-E till I found out that it has 5 seconds of full power and shitty brakes and a mile of wires. It doesn't need crazy stuff that's going on out there. And I'm not fanning the I am fanning the flames. I'm definitely fanning the flames. But I just think it's funny that it all of a sudden popped up back to back to back. In 1 week, you had 3 negative things come up about Ford. Then we could talk about the F1 stuff, but you and I both know Ford is only providing some hybrid and maybe a controller technology. Red Bull is not stupid enough to stick a fucking motor developed by Ford in their ship. Red Bull has been pretty goddamn dominant, or at least at the top of the F1 stuff, or near the top, for years now. You think they're going to stuff Ford technology? They came from Honda stuff. They had Honda sponsorship or Honda collaboration. Now they're building a brand new plant somewhere. They're going to build some motors in that bitch. You think they're going to allow Ford, with their shitty track record,
Take that, Elon Musk,
to go ahead and provide any powertrain control? No, it's going to be on the hybrid side. It's going to be on the controller side, and it'll only benefit Ford because Red Bull already has this technology. So Ford is going to say, here's some money, here's some sponsorship money, slap our logo on your Red Bull, make us look somewhat relevant, and we'll be able to piggyback some of the technology that you have on your electric hybrid side of things onto our street vehicles. And in my opinion, that's all it is. $2 billion down the drain. Ben Gillay says Ford sent out the spy balloon trying to find ideas. Tommy Boy had better business sense. Right. Tommy Boy had way better business sense than Farley. Jim Farley doing his best Tommy Boy leadership. It's not an F-150. It's a fucking Raptor. And, you know, where is that? Where, you know, I think I've played that a couple of times. And I did get copyrighted. Or a copyright strike for that. Not a strike. Like I'm not saying it's like a strike. Where the hell is Raptor? Apparently, I don't have it here. Damn. No, well, yeah, I'll find it eventually. No big deal. Good morning, said from St. Augustine. It's a little chilly up there, isn't it? You sound like that Chinese balloon sprayed you. Can't seem to shake this BS. No, yeah, I don't feel bad, but goddamn it, this nasal shit I got going on, it's just phlegm nonstop. So I'll be like this for a week or so. If he's take 5 times as many processors as ice cars, maybe don't waste them in Lightnings and Mach-Es. Ford was too much self-licking ice cream cone for too long, running around with damn blindfold on. Oh no, we suck again. Ford's a rat nest. Ford's on fire. Henry Ford is rolling in his grave. I mean, the amount of rolling in the grave that Henry Ford must be doing right now. He was an industrial motherfucker. He was like, you know, top G. And now he sees his company run by a guy with a wig. And you're like, what the hell is happening? At what point does the board say, you're not giving us anything to really write home about? You're not instilling confidence. As a CEO, you're supposed to instill confidence and competence. And he's not doing either, in my opinion. He's doing a terrible job. How did the engineers get away with that extra wiring? Oh, that's right. Ford has no QC. Speed Tree says, hey, Alex, I missed you. Hello, Proud Peasant here. That's like 2 Mach-E's worth of wires in one piece of shit. Other than the round part, new engine time, like so pitted. Damn, I was watching old videos and missed the notification. At 35,000 miles, nothing should be having any lifter failures of any kind. Nothing should be having any lifter failures of any kind. Found it.
Ain't no regular
Jesus, took forever.
This a fucking Raptor.
But the Godzilla and everybody that... Shout out to everybody that said I was full of shit. Shout out to everybody that said it's badass. Shout out to everybody that said wait till they end up in junkyards. Guess what? You got your wish. They're going to end up in junkyards a lot faster than any coyote would have ended up in a junkyard. Congratulations. You're going to choose between an engine that is light, high revving, boosting fuel, and you can go fucking 8s, or you're going to choose between an engine that you got to completely reconfigure to fit in a Fox or a modern, popular hot rod, let's say Fox. What the fuck else do they put these in? I don't know if they put them on Broncos yet. It sounds really stupid to put them on Broncos. F100s, change the oil pump, change this, change that, change the pickup, change the fucking front drive, change the cam, change the heads, change everything. At that point, you should just get an LS. I have an S550 with 7.3. It runs amazing, and I beat the shit out of it. An F550 with a 7.3. Good for you. Wait till 30,000 miles. Godzilla lifters are made in China. I agree. It has to be. Alex, would you ever consider CTS V3? Yes, absolutely. And what's your thoughts on the car as a daily? Absolutely, Nani. A V3 is, I don't want to say a dream car, but it's one of those cars that you absolutely would rock. You could get a murdered out black V3 or a silver one and be super happy. Rarely, I don't like the red ones. I don't like the ones that pop too much. I like ones that are sinister, long, big wheels, chopping it up. Love it. Ford using China Harbor Freight materials. That's funny. I just saw a video yesterday of an LS7 guy. The same thing, lifter was stuck and the cam was shot. C. Whipple's attempt to spy on Magnuson finally got shot down. Coyote Kelly, what are you talking about? Coyote Kelly. That is something that interests me highly. But I can't imagine it's... Oh, you're talking about Whipple? Oh my God, you're talking about Whipple? You say that was Whipple's balloon? Oh my God, that's great. I thought you were being dead serious. Did you see Whipple's attempt to spy on Magnuson finally got shot down? You know that was Whipple's balloon because it was made in China. Too many woke party and not enough engineering. Went to the Delphi LS7 lifters. They should have gotten Chevrolet from the first time. Red Bull is running F1 since 2020. Running F1 since 2020. You should get the new BMW. No, I'm not buying a motherfucking BMW M3. No, thank you. I don't care that it runs 9s. My Fairmont ran 9s on 12 PSI. I don't care that it runs 9s. I work on GM vehicles and never seen a lifter that bad on them. They need to find some people at Ford. Good morning. Actually, Coyote Kelly, that's such a good comment. Can I like pin this comment? Pin message. Boy, that's great. That's Funny shit. Love it. I do, ATX Cobra says, I do, but not like that lifter Ford. I avoided Ford when I bought my girl a car. Their SUVs are ugly. Nanny says, hey, Alex, do you ever consider, I already got that. Vehicles these days are designed to fail. So you'll buy another vehicle and keep the company's revenue up. Yeah, so it doesn't make sense. And you know what, Matt Jones, that's a very good point. Modern vehicles are not meant to last. And the ones that are meant to last are insanely expensive. Like if you're going to buy something that you want to keep a long time, you almost have to buy like a Super Duty F250 and up. You have to buy something that is meant to be a work vehicle, and it's going to cost you $70,000 to $80,000. But if you think for a second, Ford, Chevy, Stellantis, Dodge, and anyone is going to sell you a vehicle under $50,000, because $50,000 is the new $30,000. Get ready, guys. Everything is going to be $50,000. $50,000 for everything. So the $50,000 is the new $30,000. So you're going to start seeing cars that are just, you better buy that warranty and you better bring that bitch to the dealership. And the moment you pay it off, you better trade it in for another vehicle. And that's what they want. They want returning customers every 2 years if they're leased, or every 4 to 5 years, or if you're a Dodge owner, 8 years at 20%. So it's like an iPhone. Didn't iPhone get not sued, but they got in trouble not too long ago because their phones were acting up right around the time that the people started paying off their phones. Like after 2 years, all of a sudden the phone started acting up and you needed a new phone. And they did that in the software. You don't think modern cars have that ability? Stop it. Ford is a one-hit wonder with the Coyote platform. I agree. I think Ford, and I'm talking the performance enthusiast. I don't care about any other platform. I don't care about 2.7 EcoBoost, 3.5 EcoBoost, 3.0 ST, 2.3 Eco. I don't give two shits. When we're talking performance, we're talking Coyote. And Ford has been riding the Coyote piggyback coattails for a very long time. The F-150, and the crazy thing is, Ford does not, just like Cooper said on his podcast, Ford does not reach out to the guys that run the Coyote game with the OEM stuff. Run it. They do not reach out. And I think it's because of ego. It has to be because of ego. So Ford, can you or any of your engineers make a 10R80 stock motor car run 7th? Oh, Alex, they made a electric car go 7s. Correct, with about a $3 million budget. So I am thinking it has to do with, I remember I talked to a Ford engineer at SEMA with Joe Goodenough. We were looking at GT350 rods on a display bench against the S550 rods, against other rods, blah, 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 blah. And we, before boosting GT350s was insanely popular and very beneficial, we asked this engineer, what do you think about supercharging a GT350 motor at about 10 PSI? Oh, if you want to rip the crank out of that sucker, go ahead and do so. But we really don't recommend it. Not only was he wrong, he was dead wrong. Where the strongest component of the GT350 is the crank, the weakest is the rod, like it's been on every other Coyote variant. So he was probably never privy to any testing. Like, I think that Ford doesn't test their vehicles like you think they test their vehicles. You think they do endurance testing. You think they do everything. You think they shove twin turbos in a 350 Voodoo and zing it to death and say this is... No, they don't. They outsource all that shit. They outsource it to people like Roush. They outsource it to their partners. And they just don't even try the shit. Because if you saw a Voodoo motor with 8 PSI make 750 rear wheel horsepower on fucking 8 PSI with pump gas, you would go, oh my God, we have something here. No. Or even a Vortex supercharged Voodoo motor at 8 PSI making 720, 730, 740. Or an ESS or a Whipple. They probably didn't even know it did that until the aftermarket got its hands on it. And all of a sudden, everybody was like, and then they see what Fat House does and go, wait a minute, Fat House is using a stock crank in those motors with an FFRE engine? Yes, stock crank. So all the bullshit they were saying about cranks exploding, this and this and that, no, they're 100% wrong. So I don't care what Ford engineers tell you. I think they don't test their vehicles nearly as much as you think they test the vehicles. Ford making ICE car run 7s. Well, wait, we got time. It's not like it's going to be quality. Yeah, you're right. Planned obsolescence is just a cost benefit analysis. If you want something reliable, get ready to pay big money. Absolutely. And you're gonna be seeing that cars that are worth anything and last a little bit are gonna be $70,000 and up. With inflation and cost of chips and everything on the planet, you're gonna see that anything under $50,000 is gonna be something that is expendable, replaceable. Every 4 years, swap it over, no big deal. Like, I've been looking for V8 SUVs for a very long time, and a lot of you guys usually watch the replay, and you go, Alex, you got to watch, you got to get this, you got to get that, you got to change. I remember Josh Bondobird, he's like, oh, you got to like put the heads and cam kit on the 6.2, and after that, it's fine. You know what I keep going back to, and I know it doesn't have many issues? An '05 Z71 Tahoe with a 5.3, the Vortec 5.3. I think that's what it's called. I see those everywhere. Some Mexican has fucking ladders on his shit, uses it as a construction vehicle. Motherfuckers towing with it, and the bitch just keeps going. And I remember in '05 to '10, I would see these Tahoes, Z71 Tahoes, 200,000 miles, no problem. Just getting it. And I'm not looking for something to be badass and baller. I don't care. I just need something V8, good size, that I can shove stuff in the back, but I don't want a pickup truck. And every single time I look at these new Tahoes, new Yukons, 6.2, lifter issue, 6.2, lifter issue. You know what doesn't have lifter issues? The old 5.3s. Like none. Zero issues. I'm not looking to race. I'm not looking to be badass. I just want a good size SUV that, you know, is chunky and it gets decent mileage. And you're right, Fast Rider. I think you are better off leasing a vehicle rather than buying. And that's going to be my next course of action. I will more than happily lease a 6.2 Yukon, even a new one. If the lease terms are reasonable, I'll fucking lease it for 2 years. Because why in the hell would I pay for 6 years a bunch of money down on the sucker, basically pay $400 to $500 a month to lease a vehicle with a good chunk down, I'm sure, and say, let me just rent this for a couple of years, see if I even like it. It's almost crazy. Or buy an old Z71 '05 Tahoe for $10,000 cash. That's probably the best thing I'd do. Mid-2000 were golden years for reliable SUVs. I agree. If you're going to get a Tahoe, get it 11 to 14. No, I don't like those. I don't like an 11 to 14 Tahoe. Let me see. 11 Tahoe. Let me see. I don't like I don't like how they look. I don't like how they look at all. But it's got a 5.3, 320 horsepower, curb weight. What about towing capacity? 5,500 pound towing capacity? Bro, that's just trash. But it'll probably be enough for the GT500 to Bradenton back a couple of times. So yeah, I mean, something like that. I just don't like how they look. I like the older ones. Z71 03 to 06 is nice. Exactly. This is what I want. White 07 Tahoe. Oh wait, is it 07? No, 05. The 05 Tahoe Z71. I really like, and call me crazy. Yeah, I might look like every fucking bean around the fucking planet, but I like this vehicle. I just like how it looks. I think it's a very, oh, what the fuck happened? What the hell? Let me just click on images because this thing just gets all wonky. Yeah, this is fine. There's nothing wrong with this. I like this. I like this a lot. I mean, not this one in particular, but I've always liked these trucks. Every single time I see them, I go, yep, that's it. That's the one. And they're still $10,000 plus. So a Z71 4x4 5.3 Tahoe, these bitches are gonna last me a long time. So do I lease something for fucking 2-3 years, or do I just buy something cash for $10K or so, that's what it's gonna cost me. This will be like a $10,000 vehicle, and I need it just to put. I'm never gonna drive it far. I'm gonna stay in Florida. I'm gonna tow maybe 4 to 5 times a year to the track, and it's gonna be a daily commuter. This is perfect for me. So the new shit is less and less enticing. I can swing it, but I'd rather save for a house. The only reason I'm saying the 6L80 is exponentially better than the 4L60 understood, but I don't like the design of the vehicle that they came in. 3.0 diesel on the Tahoe, that would be nice. I'll stop it. I drive my 05 5.3 Silverado from Via to Miami, get 22 miles per gallon. All this is true, Alex. A Ford balloon finna be seen. 99 05 GM trucks were killer. Yep, that gen is dope. I love that generation. 05 white. I want a white one. Z71 Tahoe. That's, if I'm going to get one, I'll pay cash. I got it. Just pay it and be done with it. 10K, probably be 150 to 175,000 miles. And as long as the trans shifts and the motor oil pressure is not ticking like a motherfucker, ride the fuck out. Get you a 3/4 ton Chevy GMC conversion van. You get a 6-liter with no lift or issues and a couch that folds to a bed. Now, have you guys seen the 3/4 ton 6-liter Silverados? Like the Suburbans. I like the 6-liter 3/4 ton Suburban. So I can't find those for the life of me. Let's see, 3/4 ton Suburban. I used to see those everywhere in Massachusetts, and that was a very popular rig. Check this out. So this is something I've really been looking into. Look at $7,500. What is wrong with this? Like a 3/4 ton 2,500 Suburban, 165,000 miles, $7,500. Like robust, big. It's got the 6-liter, $7,500. What's wrong with it, right? And that's what I've been looking at. I've obsessed with looking up 3/4 ton Suburbans or something similar. You know why? Because I see these motherfuckers in the Secret Service. They have a 3/4 ton Suburban all over the place. And I love the fact that they make, this is nice. Boy, did they ever make a Duramax 06 3/4 ton Suburban? Does anyone in the chat know? If they made a 06 3/4 ton 6-liter Duramax, I would love that. I would absolutely love this. Bro, stop it. 3/4 ton Suburban life. Well, why don't you get an Excursion? Because they're gay. You can get an 05 Suburban 2500 6-liter with a 4L80. My brother's compa is selling the same Z71 Tahoe for $6,000. Nito, if it's not totally clapped out and it hasn't been in a couple of drive-bys, hit me up. I got the money. Speaking of replays, I did an install on the EPA trailer, and we're driving Dodge Rams for Tremors. Okay. Get a Suburban. You'll love having the extra room. I've got an O2 Yukon XL, heated and leather, and love it. That's about right. 6'3" Soldier. They're so good. The U.S. Secret Service still uses the 2500 Suburban with an 8.1 V8. I would love a 3/4 ton Suburban. That Suburban will pull a trailer like it's nothing. Now, you need an 8.1 big block. Now, that will run forever. My dad's 2000 Silverado has 305,000 miles. They're rare. A lot of government contractors had them. Very rare. Search government auctions. Nope, they had a Duraburb conversion company. Great. 3/4 with the D-Max, that would be baller. Exactly. So, I am so down on new vehicles that I don't think I want to even venture out and try to get something new for fear of coming across new issues when you have vetted vehicles from the past that to this day, and I don't have the sound clip, to this day are still kicking ass and getting it done. And all I need is a big tow rig to live in the state. I don't drive more than 5,000 miles a year, guys. I don't drive more than 5,000 miles a year at all. Yeah, I'm never going to buy anything with it in the Northeast. My dad bought a 3/4 ton Suburban diesel late 2000s, and I'm still driving it around today. The green RCSV. Check out Duraburb there in Florida. Lease, bro. Best for tax write-off. You can write off the whole note if you're using for your business. Now, I just received my 1099s, my W-2s, I am now having that issue. I am now having that issue where I have to buy something I'm not trying to say I'm balling, but what I'm saying is my tax bill this year, I guarantee is going to be over $25,000. I guarantee it. So I have to do something really quickly about my situation with the taxes. And this is the first year I'm probably going to go to an accountant and I'm going to go, hey, this is what I got. I am saving. I'm going to pay the tax bill, but I got to set myself up for next year because we're in February and I can't fuck around anymore. And if I'm making what I'm making now and it is sustainable for years to come, I have to offset something. So I might have to get into an LLC situation. I might have to it's time to do big boy shit because the earnings were very good this year, and I appreciate you guys for doing that. So, but the problem is, I gotta pay up. Like, I gotta pay up. Get you something with a 6.2 L92 engine like my 07 Denali, you'll not go wrong. I don't know about the 6.2s in an 07 Denali situation. 6.2 L92 engine. Interesting. Those old Tahoe Silverados are just good because you need engine and parts. Just go to Jag Summit and Racing. Secret Service keeping diesels deletes alive. Saw a Lucy there for the first time in person. Was passing by when I pulled out of the driveway. Broke down at a stop line. The mile up the road. Paper tags. Tow rig. I see you cruising an older two-wheel drive Power Stroke, honestly. So, excursions. 7.3. It tows, but isn't it a fucking slug? Like, I see Brandon has a 7.3 liter fucking 8-foot bed quad cab F350. It is the biggest slug. Like, I can't imagine that runs a 20-second quarter mile. It is a complete slug. I want something with a little bit of zip. His shit, it's reliable as shit, but god damn it, it is slow. Okay, let's see what the... Okay, 34% of you want me to drink the cola champagne. So this is the Jamaican. I got them all here because I got them all here because I wanted to, keep them cold so you guys could decide. I can't drink warm soda or anything. So cola champagne, I know what this tastes like. Puerto Ricans know what cola champagne is. The other two I have is this Jamaican ginger root ragaman. And coconut water is just coconut water. Nothing special about this coconut water. So this is the coconut water. And this is like a rice. I don't know what this is. Maybe some ethnic people on the chat knows what the fuck this is. But I saw it at the ghetto store. And I was like, yeah, let me try this shit. So yeah, they're slugs. I know that the 7.3s are slugs. So I wasn't like happy to get that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's drink this, baby. Okay. I'm going to put this right in my throat so you guys can hear it. So it has 44 grams of carbs. Total calories 180. One bottle. Okay, so it's not terrible. This is soft though. This is soft as shit. This is Pussy Boy Cola Champagne because the one with the koala in the front is way more aggressive than this one. This one's got a cat in the front. This one's got a cool cat. You a bitch. This thing sucks. So the one with the koala in the front, Cola Champagne with the koala in the front, that's the one. This one sucks. Oh baby. Okay, so there. Ugh. God damn it, I haven't had soda in a while. And I'm saying like soda. Ugh, Jesus. But it's soft shit. LOL ethnic people, says Ken McAllister. I had an excursion and it's super slow, but it's super reliable and has decent amount of space. I love my 7.3s. They're slow stock. You can make them better and not as slow as hell with a little work. Good chip tuner wakes it up. Good. 99 plus Power Stroke with a tuner runs and tows damn good. Aren't those the 6 liters? Aren't those absolute fucking trash? I drove my buddy's 2000 and it moved out. Oh, you taste so good, says Ken McAllister. Cola Champagne will corrode your teeth faster than battery acid. Why buy used piece of shit? Just lease something nice and don't worry, it's not yours, has factory warranty. Well, so this is what I'm trying to do. This year is the year to save a ton of dough to try to get into a house. And I don't want just a piece of... Look, right at this second, I can get into a $450,000 house. But $450 doesn't buy you fucking shit here. It doesn't buy you shit here. I live in Palm Beach County, okay? It is very expensive to live here. And $450 buys you a fucking shack. Piece of junk. Unless you live way out west. Now, if you want to go way out west, you don't want to buy a $450,000 house out west because it's like a big house that needs a lot of work. But if you want to get into a house, you got to bring up your budget, $550 to $600. So in order to do that, I'm going to offset that by a big down payment. So if I'm leasing a vehicle, now on my credit report, it shows as a deficit, as something that I owe, as opposed to no credit cards, no nothing. Maybe one credit card with a little bit of a balance so they see that I have an active credit card or whatever. But I want to be able to get into a house so I have a lot of capital, liquid, and my credit footprint on the lower side. So I want my debt to income ratio to be super favorable, and my loan ability to get a big loan is highly favorable. So I can't go out there leasing shit nonstop. If I was not planning to get a house, guys, I'd have 10 more cars. But I need the room. I need an offset of my taxes because after getting my current tax situation, I see that I need a deductible. I need tax deductible interest to be used against my income. So I need to buy a house or something to write stuff off of because my tax bill is ridiculous. Anyone going to NMRA in Orlando next month? Ben Callum's supposed to go, and I almost don't care, but I want to support him. But god damn it, I don't care about NMRA. I had a 7.3 Longbed, and it was a great truck. It was slow, but no issues. You can look at Bill from Power Stroke, help on Bulletproof 6.0 Power Stroke. I believe they also reconditioned the whole truck. You got to get a bulletproof one. I wonder if Alex has an ice machine in his complex. I have an ice machine here. 7.3 is a street tractor. What's a fair price for a 15 to 18 GT Auto? Now, you are changing generations. 15 to 17 is going to start to become ridiculously favorable. You're going to see Gen 2 prices go all the way up because it is very obvious that the new Mustang won't be able to be tuned right away. Someone will get around to tuning it. Cool story. If we get around to tuning it, cool story. It is not my shit. My shit is to literally fill an order. But if we get around to tuning the Dark Horse and the newer Mustangs, cool story. The 15 to 17 Mustang is the one to get. That is the one to get. Now, 18 to 20 is also the one to get because of the 10R80. So you're conflicted. You have two different generation vehicles in that year, Andrew Stotts. 15 to 17, in my opinion, you can get from 28 to 32, like a GT Performance Pack, Premium 401A with Mach 1000. 18 to 20, you can get from 32 to 37. I'm asking 35 for my car, and I think I have a buyer, but I got to get him photos and stuff, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not going to clean my car up that much. I mean, it's a supercharged, almost 800 horsepower Mustang. I'm not going to try to sell that car. If it doesn't sell, no big deal. If you really want it, come with cash, get it out of my life. So I think you can get 27 to 32 Gen 2, 32 to 37 Gen 3, 21, 22, 23, obviously you can ask for big money because they're still basically new. So hopefully that helps out somewhat. Legion Fab said get a 6-liter 03 and up or equals 03 and up. JR10 says it'll be a great condition to buy a house. We'll be in a great condition to buy a house 6 to 8 months once the foreclosures start hitting. A lot of layoffs already happening in that income bracket. I agree. Guys, I don't know if tuning is going to survive 3 to 5 years. So I got to get myself in a house. And I know for a fact I can afford to live off of the YouTube income alone. I know for a fact I can do that. That doesn't mean I'm going to quit my job. That's crazy. I'm going to ride out until I'm going to squeeze this fucking thing out until there's no money left on the motherfucker. But I got to get into a house because it's a lot more difficult to get into a house with just one source of income than two. My brother is gay to the second power. He has 2 excursions. Are you not writing enough off that you do to the cars? You can't write it. You can't write anything off to the cars. I'm not a business entity. I'm a personal dude. My taxes are super easy. I don't have tax shelters. I don't have anything like that. My taxes are cake, very easy. So I just pay the government what I owe. I get it. It's part of making money in the U.S. is paying your stupid taxes. It's theft, but whatever. It's legalized theft. So what I got to do is get something to offset what I owe. I got to get my tax footprint very low. So I got to get a house that might be on the expensive side, that has a lot of interest, not a lot of interest in terms of a percentage rate, but meaning I want to be able to deduct at least $10,000 off of my taxable income, at least. And then if I have any other purchases during the year, I probably spent out of pocket on my hobby 50 to 70 this year alone, out of pocket. Alex, just want to say thanks. Alan at DNA High Performance got me hooked up with a 4 hat and twin Hellcat pumps for a great price. Badass. By the way, give an honorable mention to DNA High Performance, DNAHighPerformance.com. They are the place where you want to get online parts. They're one of the few places that you can get online. Actually, the only online parts house that we sponsor here. DNAHighPerformance.com. DNA High Performance. Get any parts, welds, VMSs, whatever, and they got a firm. How much do you think a Gen 2 short block is worth? I've got one thinking about letting it go short block, $1,800 to $2,000. No more, no less. The heads is where it's at. This is nasty, but I need something. The heads are where the value is. The short block, $1,800 tops. So I would keep it if I were you. Nothing special. If 15 to 17s are $35,000, I should ask for 42 for my car, but I'm not. Just get an SLE Yukon 300D. No diesel. No, fuck you. $25,000 for a bolt-on Gen 2, 40,000 mile PP1 in Cali. Yeah, leading doesn't reflect against your personal leading. Leasing? You do need an LLC. I do need an LLC. Financial question. If you have a $20,000 in credit debt and $20,000 in the bank, should I just pay it off and interest rates are killing my monthly payments? Yeah. Well, okay. It depends. Some people play the game. If you have $20,000 in debt and $20,000 in the bank, some people will say, I'd rather be debt-free, but it's weird how credit works. Credit works if you use it. Credit scores go. My credit score went down 10 points when the truck was paid off. 10 points. Because it looks like a massive chunk was just gone. And instead of a debt that I was paying off every month, it just, you paid it off, boom, your credit score goes down. But that doesn't mean that the ability to borrow isn't strong. So it all depends. If you can swing the payments, cool. If I were you personally, I'd pay off the credit card bills incrementally, not in one lump sum, like, $5,000, then another $5,000, like in 4 months or 5 months, pay off all your credit. And then still have something left in the bank. A little late, but dropping a like. Everyone hit that like. Thank you. Please hit that like button. We live off of the like button here. I will never hit 100,000 subs. I will never have a 1 million viewed video. I will never have anything like that. This channel thrives off of the memberships and the likes, so it could spread the word a little bit. The parts firm will give you $3,000 for your car today. If I could sell my 17 Mustang for $30,000, I would. Yeah, I get it. Everything you do to the car is an interest making money on YouTube. Therefore, it's a business expense. But I don't have a business license, so I'm going to have to do that. Would you buy Suburban in Houston, Texas for 170,000 miles? 5.7, 5.3, Z71? Probably. That sounds... but the problem is it's Houston. Houston has a way of trashing vehicles. Congrats on that stick Mustang. It was moving and the trap speed was insane. Let's take a look at it. Rami Zaidan. I love giving a shout out to the people that get shit done. Rami Zaidan's customer. And it was a stick shift Mustang. Gen 3. I think it's a T56 car. So Gen 3 T56 car. S550 with a WAP box. And it ended up going 960 if I'm not mistaken. And it sounded ridiculous. And I think it's all on the driver, to be honest with you. It in my opinion, if the driver can get, out of the hole and cut a sub 1.5 60 foot, which doesn't sound amazing, but on a stick car that's mildly modified, that's pretty darn good. So I'm going to find the video where this guy was just straight getting it. 2 Auto Solution. Did he post it under 2 Auto Solution? Why do you post it under 2 Auto Solution? Why? Why? Why don't you post it under Rami Zaidan? Oh my God, 2. I get it. He wants to have his page get some traction, but if you tag me in it, you tag me in it. Oh, come on. Now I can't find it. Y'all post way too much. Oh, come on. Oh my Lord. Oh my God. Why don't you just have it? Oh my God. I'm trying to shout him out here and seeing that car get after it, but let me see. Okay, Rami. This is these cars have nothing to do with me. Half of the cars he posts up have nothing to do. It's Chevy, and a bunch of stuff. Okay, sorry, Rami. It's just taking too long. This is you need to. If you posted something about a stick car, it should be bada bing, bada boom, and done. And I don't see it here. So you guys are going to have to search yourselves for his car, because I'm not going to sit here all day and search for something that should be easily found. He tagged me in it too. And I'm like, why isn't it just on your page? You're a business. YouTube. I'm not a business. I'm a 1099 Skin Lab. You have to have a business license. If you try to claim something under a business and you don't have a business license, they're going to tell you to go suck a dick. What's the best platform for Coyote Swap, in your opinion? Grace, get that house, bitch. Nestor? Fox Body, by far. The Fox Body is so vetted in terms of the aftermarket. You got AC components, you got headers that fit, you got K members that fit, you got 5 or 6 different options for power steering, you got every blower combo bracket already figured out. Vortec, Whipple, Odin, Roush, you name it. It's vetted. If you want to complicate your life and be unique, go for it, brother. But if you want a fast car now with a Coyote, Fox Body's the way to go. Just pay off a good bit, like half of it, so you can refinance the lower interest rate. You'll have money in the bank. Talk to a real account, not a H&R. Who the fuck do you think I'm talking? You think I'm taking my shit to Walmart, Jackson Hewitt, and having them do my taxes? Get out of here. I get the whole tax stuff, but I see it gets giving the government an interest-free loan. LLC is a good plan for leverage with the write-offs. Exactly. I got to do that this year. Rami's $8,299. Okay, but wait, again, he needs to post it somewhere very visible. He can't post it on some sub thing, No, you need to get the hard video and put it on your page. You can't like share and reshare and tag me, because that doesn't show up. You know how many people tag me and shit, and I have to allow it to be shown on my page. So I get 40 tags a day. I'm not going to allow them all, and I'm not going to go through them all. You was tagged in it on the Lund group. Okay, so the Lund group. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fuck me, right? Because that's the best way to get a hold of me, the Lund group. I never go there. I don't answer any of your questions. You guys are psycho. You guys are absolutely psycho. Some of the shit you guys say, I'm like, bro, you guys are absolutely freaking psycho. Carlos Nieves Negron. Is this him? Let me see. Oh, too much. Just show the fucking thing. No, it's 9. He went 906, so that's wrong. Here we go. Jesus, 5 years later. He posted it on the fucking the Lund Racing page. Like I'm never gonna see that. I'm never there. I'm never on this fucking page. Here we go. So it's got a GT500 front end, which, you know, that tells you that the GT500 is a Gen 2. GT500 hood, but it's a 15 GT. Stick, VMP, Gen 3. With bias plies fronts and in the rears. The boy listens. $157. Damn, bitch. Oh, that's a lot of mile an hour. Good for you. Good for you. So, yep, his customer's getting it done. That car, I think, downloaded at 1,000 wheel horsepower. I'm planning to get a twin turbo kit on my car. Every shop wants me to do oil pump gears. How do I explain to them it's not needed? Okay, it's not needed, Gutayama. But listen to me, and I need people to understand why I say oil pump gears are necessary in some applications, are not necessary in another. Gutayama, are you ever planning to two-step the car? Gutayama, are you ever planning to two-step the car to get the boost up on the line? Just answer that yes or no. And if the answer is yes, what do you think a two-step does? And do you think it is favorable to have a two-step with stock oil pump gears? In a manual car that you're not on the two-step or the chip, you don't necessarily need it. If you have a twin turbo car that you are planning to put a two-step and a bump, there you go, Gutayama. If you're going to two-step that, you need oil pump gears. See, I don't think people listen to half of the stuff I say here. I just think they hear what they want to hear. If you have a turbo car that is automatic and you plan on bumping it up and putting it on the two-step, you absolutely need oil pump gears. Like, you absolutely need oil pump gears because you're rattling shit on purpose. But if you have a stick car or a auto car that you never, like a TVS auto car, you can foot brake that motherfucker and it'll cut a 139. My red car, stock converter, cut a 137. Stock fucking converter, stock trans. Didn't have to bump it into, didn't have to two-step it or nothing. Great way to start my day, Alex. Going to the gym and listening to Alex. Thinking about Coyote swapping my 95 F250. That's stupid. With ink file, you can create an LLC in 10 minutes. I just used it. Cool. Gutayama is planning on entering two-step contest, bouncing it off the limiter. Old pump gears just love two-stepping with nitrous activated. I agree. I'd be leery of saying my cars are for my business and are write-off and then have videos of running in Mexico on my channel. See, people don't think about that, and that's a very good point. But that is technically what you do, right? I don't think the business is going to say, because let's say my business is modifying vehicles and showing you guys what the modifications are, and I can write that off because it is a business model. And I'm showing that I am earning income by showing you guys the changes that I make to a vehicle, and you guys watch, and that is the business model. Theoretically, yeah. you could probably write that off. And again, writing off doesn't mean free. Writing off means some of the expenses are taken off of your total taxable income. That's all. You need to find a good CPA. You're losing so much money without all the right paperwork. You could write off. Wow, the fact that you spelled write off all the money you spend on cars is ridiculous. And write off doesn't mean 100% off of your shit. I think it's a percentage. And you spelled write off improperly. So I'm already sus about your advice. Joe Mendoza says, Theo, you're able to use a MSE two-step on a 6R80, correct? Yeah. I can't be leaving off my trans brake 4,500 RPM. Haha, two relay deal. You can use a MSD two-step on a 6R80, yes. But why? I don't even understand the question. Theoretically, you don't need a two-step, right? The two-step is just so that it stays at that RPM and you're to the floor and it doesn't fly past that RPM. The problem is, like, I could launch my 6R80 car anywhere on the trans brake without a two-step. It's just going to go, woo, and as long as I modulate the throttle properly, I could bring it up to whatever stall speed I want without a two-step. I could literally bring it up to 4,200 RPMs. Woo, and again, as long as I'm not floored, I don't need a two-step. The two-step is to hold it at that predetermined RPM while your foot is to the floor. So if you have a turbo car, of course you need to be to the wood. But let's say you have an NA car with a 6F converter like I had, with a trans brake. I didn't have to use a two-step. I could just with my foot, and then right before the light, right before I let go of the button, floor it, and I'm already launching at 4,500 RPMs without a two-step. But if a turbo car or something else, that's completely different. He's entering two-step contest in Jonathan Harder's Meet video. Two-step and no OPGs, Anderson windows, and a trip to B&B for curtains. Why no issues with oil pump gears on 2020 GT500s? Because they're already beefed up from the factory. They're already beefed up from the factory. Why is that? GT500s have a factory two-step. GT500s have a factory two-step. Supercharged. So they put beefy oil pump gears in there and crank sprocket already. The Predator is already built. Best single turbo kit for a Gen 3. Well, in terms of tuning, I would say BL Fab or On 3, believe it or not. Like, I understand On 3, you got to put it on 3 times for it to be decent. But look, if you're okay moving a bunch of wires around and basically reconfiguring the fucking car just to have a single turbo in the bitch, go for it, brother. But in terms of tuning, the BL Fab kit tunes fine. So does the On 3. Like, I could almost make the case that if you size the turbo properly, you can probably make good power on the On 3 stuff for about a year until the welds fly off the bitch, and then you're fucked. Bet 60 foot, I got my FBO A85 179 with 6 already stock converter. I need a driver mod, I see. One thing at OPG installed, people think it's okay to hit the rev limiter like the Trinity guy. Right. Just because you get oil pump gears installed doesn't mean you can do this. No. I gotta throw this thing away. It's nasty. Ugh. I'm racing stick class at SET Bradenton this month. Are you gonna be at this event? I'm never gonna be at any streetcar takeover ever. Streetcar takeover is not my thing. It's just not my thing. Isn't it like a 1-day class or a 2-day class? I already told you guys, I don't care for drag racing anymore, organized. I'd rather do street stuff. And if I go to a track, it'll be a rental. I don't care about events. I don't care about ragging my car out to kill it. No, I don't. I literally don't care about that. If I go to any event ever, it's in the Fairmont. And that's going to have like a glide or something. You know, the notch will have a stick. And I'm not, the whole racing stuff, it makes you no money. It breaks parts. You generally aren't competitive based on the class. People sandbag their cars, and people have, high to mid 4-second cars in classes they don't belong in because they want to win, and you're just like priced out of the competition. And I'm not going to be one of those guys that keeps up with the Joneses. The stick shift class is now a 7 minimum second class. You got to run 790 for anyone to even look at your car and go, it's fast. Don't get me wrong. You can win a stick shift class if you run 850s to 9.0s consistently, and you, by the luck of the draw, make it because you're consistent and people either are inconsistent or they break down. But generally, if someone has a consistent 750, 740, 7.0 car, you don't have a shot at any of those classes. That's my exact setup deal. I'll try that instead. Thank you, bitch. I just wanted to turvy to wire it for me. Incognito says, hey, Alex, I still can't get you those logs went down south. And guess what? They're directly DM'd me on IG. Weird, right? And they sent me a new tune. Okay. Incognito Film says, hey, Alex, still can't get you those logs wet down south. And guess what? They directly DM'd me on IG. Weird, right? And sent me a new tune, 7 p.m. Why the fuck did they... Okay, so I had a guy reach out to me. From a competitor. He's being tuned by a competitor. And it's an NA car. And it ran a number, 60 to 130. So then he gets dyno tuned for an extra couple $100, and the car goes slower. And the car is the typical, full bolt on, NA deal. So I didn't really want to give him kind of hey, come to us, we'll treat you better. That's not my shit. I said that car is running about what it should run. So that after he went out and tested on his dyno tune, he goes, it is slower on my dyno tune. I go, interesting. Your street tune is slower than your dyno tune. So apparently he must have just gotten the word out that he wasn't happy, and they finally reached out to him via DM on Instagram and getting him taken care of. Now, if I was a piece of shit, I'd go, oh, they suck, fuck them. But I told them, hey, complain. You paid. So try to get your money's worth. And then if you have no recourse and they don't care, then you can weigh your other options. But I wasn't about to be like, we could go faster, because I don't play the negative sell game. And he could attest to that. He could show you the DMs where I'm like, well, if I were you, I'd keep working with them because you already paid. I'm not one of those negative sell guys. If you guys pay attention to the Mustang community, we got people out there saying that guys are making 130 more horsepower on the exact same fucking boost and tune, except they changed tuners and it magically made 120 more horsepower. Look, math is a universal thing. Okay? Certain air load, certain timing, certain air fuel ratio is going to make a certain power. There is no magic. There is no tuning magic. I'm sorry. Maybe you think there's tuning magic, but there is no tuning magic. So if 20 PSI, 21 degrees makes this, and someone else claims 100 more horsepower, it's either more boost or a shitload more timing. Don't say it's tune for tune, because you are lying. And you and I both know you're a liar. And that's okay. So what you're doing is you are negatively selling the competitor's product. And I don't play that game. I say, try to get as much as you can. Cool. See you later. If you are happy with your current tuner and unhappy with your previous tuner, nothing wrong with that. I think more power to you. Get the fuck out of here. Go do your thing. But to say an out lie that 100 plus horsepower at the same boost, same timing, same this and this and that, you are lying 100%. Alex, where do you see C601 prices going? Thinking I might want one over my 6th gen ZL1. $75,000, $70,000 seems to be the norm for ZR1s. If you do a typical cars.com or bring a trailer or something like that, you're going to see 09 and up ZR1s, especially the really pretty later year ones, like the blue, the crazy color ones, the ones that are red colors. You're going to be going to $75,000 and up. I didn't buy my Corvette for $70,000. It was under that. But it had 44,000 miles when I bought it, or 42,000 miles when I bought it. So I already had a quote-unquote higher mileage, and it was like a 6-owner ZR1. So that's the only reason I got into my shit, because it was heavily discounted. Dyno needs a recall, right? Is the 5.4 GT500 cheaper engine to build than a 5.8 Trinity? I think it's the same. Price on 5.8 stuff scares me. I think it's the same. Same. Because to build it, you're going to do rods, pistons, so to build it, I think you're going to the same shit. These people fall for decap and fake numbers. Bunch of lies. Yep. Man, NA guys switch tuners every 3 months around my area. Shout out to Doma Got Cookies. The YDBT and Nothing Better was delicious. Death by Oreo was on another level. When they have all the vetted combos, that's what makes Lund Lund. Lund for the win. Only tuning company with records to back it up. No. Look. If a guy makes 100 more horsepower on a dyno, then we suck. You need 3 more pounds of boost. At least 4 more pounds of boost. Let's say you have a Whipple car or a TVS car or a turbo car, right? And the turbo car makes 1,000 horsepower, 20 PSI, 21 degrees of timing, right? There is no way of extracting 100 more horsepower with cam timing or leaning it out. If you go to another tuner and he has the exact same conditions, 20 pounds of boost, 21 degrees of timing, and he somehow makes 100 more horsepower than your previous guy, he is 100% either adding more boost or a lot more timing. That's just, it's not rocket science. See, tuning isn't some fucking magic. Tuning isn't a black magic. It is data, math, very simple. Very simple. That's why Junior can guess horsepower on a car based on boost, timing, and fuel. 10 PSI, TVS, free flowing exhaust, 17 degrees of timing, manual, 630 to 650. GT350, 10 PSI, pump gas. If it's happy and it sees 16 degrees, 700, 710, maybe a little more. If you were to tell me, Alex, I took your 10 PSI pump gas car that you tuned and made 710 and went somewhere else and it made 810, bro, you suck. I'm like, okay, have at it. Same timing? Yup. Same everything? Yup. Just different tuner? Yup. Okay, cool. Go ahead, roll out with your 800 horsepower. Go ahead. I appreciate you being real, Alex. You got Incognito Films. Hey, man, look, I would have loved to have your business. You came at me with the right attitude. You DM'd me. I just happened to be on Instagram looking at videos, and I'm like, all right, let me hit him up. And he was nice, respectful. I didn't try to sway him to come to Lund. Stay with the competitor until you have absolutely exhausted all of your efforts to get the car tuned the way you want. And that's fine. I am not in the business of stealing you from other people. Come to us and we deny. We have to say no to half the people because they don't want to run the combo we think is best for them. And that's okay. Not everyone is suited to be tuned by Lund. They take the air filter to say that it makes more power on their tune. Have you ever heard of All the Motor Labs? Yeah, I have. I was referring to him on the 21 F-150 tuning. Just looking for a credible reference. Terminator card. I saw this on a competitor vid. No, if you get a port AT manifold, you trust me. Okay. I arrived in Florida yesterday and send me your address. Okay. 120 horsepower is a huge gain. Alex, for the win. I beat every Mustang in my area. Alex Sauce. I'm at quarter mile past. Okay. A little critical thinking can go a long way. Just saying. Junior nailed it when he hit Cleater's F-150 and they were blown away. Right. When they were like, how much boost? This and that. He goes, 850. And the guy goes, yeah. How'd you know? Because it is a simple math equation. Air load, timing, easy. We've done it thousands of times. So when someone claims 100 more than the same setup on the same boost, same timing. Look, if I want to be conservative with your car and I put you at 17 degrees, 18 degrees, and then I give you a race gas tune, and you decide to run the race gas tune on pump gas, that's not the tuner's fault. That's 100% your fault for putting the race gas tune that has 21 degrees with 89 or 91 octane from Vallejo or fucking Costco. And then for you to try to say Lund sucks because you installed the wrong tune with the wrong fuel in the car. I see that too. Lund sucked, they blew up my motor. How? Well, I put the race gas tune with pump gas in the bitch. How the fuck is that Lund's problem? So if we're conservative to try to keep you from blowing up, and then you don't say, by the way, I'm going to run race gas. And we say, well, that's max effort for pump gas. I wouldn't go more than pump gas. And then you go somewhere else, pull it down, put race gas in it, and make another 100 horsepower, and say, same setup. my tuner made another 100 horse. How many of you have seen a guy make more horsepower on a dyno than a Lund tune, but never go as fast in the quarter mile? Because shift points matter. Torque reduction matters. Trans tuning matters. I've seen that so many times. Oh, look at that. They said it was max effort. My local tuner made 20 more horsepower. Okay, take your local tuner's tune, go down the track. Take the Lund tune that made 20 less horse, go down the track. When the Lund tune runs a half second quicker, you're going to be Pikachu face trying to figure out why the fuck that happened. Rondo with the rough. Okay. Admiral Peck, holy shit. Should I play the Admiral Peck song? Oh, but does he? I mean, I can't believe. Are you sure? Did you sell your Escape yet to your ex-girlfriend? I like it. Okay. Alex, got hired last and worked 100 hours my first 2 total weeks, excluding an ice storm, shut us down this week. Hey, good for you, Admiral Peck. Get some of that money. Hey, good for you. You got hired. You worked 100 hours in the first 2 weeks. Love that. 50 hours a week. Love that shit. Including an ice storm that shut us down. Good for you. Get that money, Admiral Peck. Because it's either that or the fucking armed services. You ain't got shit going on in your 20s. Does Lund take EBT? Look at Alex changing people's life trajectory, getting Peck to work 100 hours a week. Where you at, Mike H? Peck is working for you. No, Mike H is like, oh yeah, I got it like that. I don't have to work 50 hours a week to make. So you make $180,000 with a wife and a kid. That ain't shit. you and I both know having a family changes the dynamic, and you need to make $250 and up to be comfortable. Good for him though. If he's happy working fucking 30 or 40, good for you. I would be so fucking bored if I got home at 4 and got nothing going on till I go to sleep. But Theo, I want 23 degrees. Hey, I want Dark Horse badge. He said 100 hours in 2 weeks. Yes, but that's 50 hours. That's okay. Crazy enough, I'm running a water jet CNC machine. Good. That's badass. Good for you, Admiral Peck. Target is Dark Horse stickers. Just need to peel them off the wine bottle. Great success, Admiral. Sorry I'm late. Just finished my 40-hour work week, says 82Z28. I don't have a key yet. Nobody with a key comes in on weekends. Admiral Peck, get all the money you can. If they offer you overtime, stay. Be the first one to say, me, I got this. You know, and on the weekend, you can relax. But if they say, hey, come in for Saturday till 12, do it. Stay 2 hours late every night, do it. Bro, get that money and don't spend it. Stack it in your 20s. Because if you're not stacking in your 20s and working your butt off, by the time you're 30, 40, like I was, you're going to have a harder time climbing out of that hole. And I am a late bloomer in all aspects. I definitely did not take advantage of my 20s working and stacking. I stupidly built cars. And that was really dumb of me because I thought this is the time to do it. I thought I was going to be on NMRA or Fun Forward Weekend. I thought I was going to be traveling the Fun Forward Weekend and just hanging out and having a bunch of fun. Fucking stupid. Stupid. Till I figured out there's no money in racing. The people that race have a massive business and they need a tax write-off and they open a shop and race. Every successful racer I know already has money. I've never met anybody that became rich from racing. Ever. Are you familiar with Garrett turbos? I want a big single Garrett 80 mil. Do you think my stocking Gen 3 can tank it? Wow. Are you familiar with Garrett turbos? I want a big single Garrett 80 mil. Do you think my stocking Gen 3 can tank it? Yes, your stocking Gen 3 can definitely tank it. 350 manual, Mach-1, 350 manual by far. Oh, wait. You mean... Oh, okay. Out of the two, 350 manual by far. The GT350 is the king NA car ever made. The GT350 will be a better car than the Dark Horse because it makes more horsepower. 526 to 500. The GT350 is by far the better vehicle. I would get one in a heartbeat, but I got to be responsible. Mike H, a man of leisure. My brother got an ESS kit. How much power can you get? LU47s and pump gas. About 600. It is really stupid to use LU47s and try to make big power on pump gas. Unless it's a Gen 3. If it's a Gen 2 car, that's not enough injector. If it's a Gen 3 car, hey, I made 700. And I don't recommend making 700, but I made 700 on LU47s. Why? LU47s on Gen 3s are also dependent on the DI to help with extra fueling. So you don't need a massive injector on pump gas. But on Gen 2s and Gen 1s, you absolutely need a bigger injector than LU47. it is a shame. I am kind of sad about Turvey, to be honest with you. I think he's one of those guys that you just can't help. So what are you going to do? Admiral making moves. I guess Turvey doesn't show up anymore. I think the Pecker replaced him. I wanted to be on Pink's All Out. It's only 17 an hour. That's okay until I get through training the machine. But once I get to one myself, I'm going to be bumped to 20 and able to come in on the weekends. It's beautiful. That's great. Dude, that kind of work will set you up for staying in that field. I'll give you an example. When I was 17 years old, actually, when I was 14 years old, I got a job as basically a street sweeper. In school, you could sign up for summer work. So basically, you're cleaning the trash off the streets in the summer for 8 hours a day to make some money, and you could buy some clothes for your next year in school or just save it up or whatever. Then I worked at a yogurt shop, and I'm like, nah, I don't like this retail shit. Then I got a job at a candle factory. And forget that it's candles. It is machinery. You're dealing with machinery. So now you are in an industrial atmosphere. In an industrial atmosphere, you learn so much. You have to learn math. You have to learn how to run the user interface. You have to run you got to learn how to run certain machinery. And once you do that, you have that skill set. So you never go from working at a factory to working at Dunkin' Donuts, right? You go factory, CNC, you work at a machine shop, you work in a field that requires that skill set. And you are in a field that requires a certain skill set that pays a certain amount. Now, I have a family member that never did that. They went from retail to clothing retail to food service stuff and just stayed in the retail field almost all their life. I don't think they ever made more than $21 an hour. Ever. I think they just stayed there. And I'm like, get the fuck out of that field and get into a field that pays more because it allows you to have more skill, or it makes you have more skill, and it pays because of that. And, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. What the fuck? You think you're going to be number one manager of Dunkin' Donuts in the Northeast? And what's that make? $50,000 a year? Get the fuck out of here. I'm stacking. I have it set to auto deposit, and half of what I go into savings goes into 3.4. Come to good for you. God, I like this guy already. Alex is out here changing lives. Gotta love it. Yo, love it, Admiral Peck. I needed you to just get your mind out of your ass because what you were saying and doing was crazy shit to me. Oh, y'all bullied Turvey out of the chat permanently. I've been gone a month and y'all got rid of the poor man. Alex pumping the Yankee candles out. No, it was Main Street Candlery in Chicopee, Massachusetts. Peck, please don't spend your money on your Lincoln Mark III 2-valve build. Admiral Peck says he still shows up once in a blue moon. Look, I think it's a youth thing. I thought I was right about everything when I was 17 years old. You know what made me grow up really fast? Being around men that have been divorced. If you want to be 100% eyes opened as a young man, hang out with men that have been through a divorce. And you will realize really quickly what matters, what doesn't matter, what can happen. Those guys have a really unique perspective as to life. And when I started seeing these, as a 17 to 18-year-old man, highly impressionable, and I started heeding their advice and hearing their words, and I go, holy shit, I don't want to end up like him, right? I don't want to end up broke and 50. That's crazy to me. And it totally made me flip and say, I'm going to stack dough, fuck chicks, just, I'm not looking to get a family, fuck all that. Let's stack this fucking money. Now, how many people do you know that are 45 years old? And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but once in a while I do toot my own horn. I think I'm in really good shape. Not great shape, but I've seen 45-year-olds out there and they look like fucking ass. Like have no energy, can't lift shit, can't do shit, can't pull shit, And I got a young girl, got a couple hot rods. I'll soon have I've already owned 2 homes. I think people forget that I've owned 2 homes, but I live in West Palm Beach, Florida, okay? The only place that has been over 75 degrees during this nasty cold spell that the rest of the U.S. has been succumbed to. So once I get into a nice house and a nice pool and big garage and all this stuff, I'll end up in a pretty damn good spot. And I know a lot of men that sacrificed everything that they needed to do for their family and this and that, and they ended up fucked up. Or guys raced most of their life and ended up in a single wide at 40-something years old with a badass race car. And I'm like, that makes no fucking sense to me. So it's a unique perspective to hear an old head talk about their life experience and what to do and what not to do, and to take that into account. I think Turvey just doesn't want to hear that shit. He just thinks he's going to be the anomaly. He's going to be the different one. He's going to be the one that changes. Meaning, if you have seen nothing but failure after failure after failure of men trying to do the same fucking thing, trying to race to become rich, trying to build a car to become rich. You don't build a car to become rich. It's just a stupid talk. Some guys get lucky, but Turvey won't get lucky. He doesn't have the talent. He doesn't have the work ethic. He was offered a job at the parts farm. God, imagine the resources he would have had at the parts farm. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. Good morning, Mr. Alex. Finally was able to catch a live Peaky Auto design. Peaky Auto is good people, man. He's meticulous with his data logging. Just did a GT500. Figured out that I asked him, he said, it feels like a slug. I go, check if the bypass is closing. Boom, check that, fix that. Check the knock tester harness. Reverted back to some tunes. Fix the throttle body issue. Boom, done. Out of there. Love that guy. Is porting my GT350 worth it even on an NA Mustang? Nah. Not unless you have cams. Drink warm malt on next episode. I will shit my pants. No, thank you. So don't build a car in your 20s. Thanks for the tip, brother, man. Don't ever build a car in your 20s. It's so stupid. The only time I built the car is when I had a lot of money. Like I had $50,000 one year just to blow on something. I had to. I should have saved it for a house, but I was like, I want to get motherfuckers. So I put it in the red car. The red car right behind me, up there. That thing went 9.1, 151, 152. Not impressive, but I'm like, what does it take to take it to the next level? Carbon doors, this and that. I'm like, I don't want to do that. It's a nice car. Boom, put it in my Fairmont, rent 850s. 850s. Or 860. Was it 850 or 860? 870? It's either 870, I think. 870 at 152, 153, something like that. And okay, now I've done something 75 to 80% of the people don't do. So now what? Am I happy? Fuck no. Then I ended up buying a GT500 because that capital ended up working towards me. I bought a Shelby, badass 8,000 miles Chevy GT500. Went 8 ones in it once. Then I went 8.3, 820, 840. I mean, I've done that to 3 cars and I got no money, nothing out of it. Nothing, no clout, no nothing. And I'm like, this is a loser. This is a money loser. So let me just do what I do best. Give some information, talk some shit, guide people, try to answer their questions. That's what I do best. Building a race car and trying to get famous off of that will never make you rich. Admiral Peck says, no, I'm going to get my SN95 2-valve Mustang ready sometime soon because only having one iffy car to drive isn't fun. It's either that or the truck will get a work bed. Okay. But Turvey's going to be the next Steve Saleen. What do you think about JPC Racing and their tunes? I know Kevin McDonald is legit. Gen 1, Gen 2. I don't know much about his Gen 3 stuff. But Kevin McDonald is legit. Is a legit tuner. It's literally an expensive hobby of mine. I don't think they understand you need to have a lot of money for backup motor transmissions and traveling with the car. Houses are expensive. I had to put my car aside and quit working on it. But once I'm able to move out of this commie state and sell the house, I will appreciate the equity so far. Your boy Troy says, thank you for uploading the streams to Spotify. It makes my 2-hour work commute 100 times better. 10 years from now, we'll be watching a documentary on Turvey and his D12 Komatsu. I hope not. I hope Turvey takes our advice to heart and really changes his trajectory in life because there's forks in the road a lot of times in life. And I think back to my past and think about what if I would have taken the other. So I'll give you a couple examples. In 10th or 12th, 11th grade, it was junior in high school. I was the smart kid, the quiet kid, the kid that played sports, just kind of, if you needed to cheat on your math exam, I was the guy that helped you cheat. And I'd play baseball and I was, like kind of like an all around normal dude. So this kid named Israel comes up to me and he goes, bro, you're like a good kid and I need you to do something for me. And I'm like, what you mean? He's like, I need you to hold something for me. He basically wanted me to hold drugs for him because basically his stash, because no one would ever suspect that I had his stash because I was a good kid. And I said, no, I'm good. Thank you. And he's like, but come on, I'm going to pay you big money just to hold my stash. And I'm like, no, because I was 16 at the time. I said, I know for a fact motherfuckers are watching you right now. Like, because my dad was a hustler. By the way, I'll give you an update on my dad's situation. But my dad told me that the guys that get caught with the stash get fucked even worse because they have that amount and they'll give you like with intent to distribute. Whereas if Israel would have gotten caught with like a couple of dime bags in his shit, he would have gotten a slap on the wrist. But I would be going to jail for a lot longer because I'm holding an immense amount of drugs. So my dad's like, nah, that's some, those people get fucked the worst. So I said, no, I'm good. That was a fork in the road. He was going to pay me $1,500 a week just to hold the stash. And I was like, nah, I'm good. Thank you. Appreciate it. See ya. And then I had an opportunity to work at a tobacco field because as a summer job. And once I got off of the truck and noticed everyone else in the tobacco field, and again, if you work in tobacco, don't get mad at me, but look, let me be honest with you. I got off of that fucking truck and I'm like, I'm not these people. I'm not these people. I got a decent brain. I can make more money with my fucking brain. These motherfuckers were out there. They look like, no offense, they weren't me. I was like, I can't do this. And I was told by my parents that I was stupid. This is good money. I'm like, I don't want to work in a tobacco field. That's just not what I do. And that's when I ended up in a factory making candles, learning skills that furthered my life. And my parents were like, what the fuck are you doing? You got to go to tobacco and this and that. You got to get a girl pregnant at 21 and you got to get married. Fuck that. So there's many forks in the road that you have to decide which way you got to go. Turvey needs to dump all that shit he's doing and throw it in the fuck or sell it. And just shut up, sit down, find a job that allows you to further yourself in life and you can do well for yourself. As opposed to building a piece of shit V6 with a 352 and wheels. Bro, stop. You're not going to go anywhere with that. If you want to build that when you have 70,000 in the bank at 40 years old, cool. You are not the next Steve Saleen. You are not the next anything. Sorry. You need to be told this by a fucking grown-ass man that's been through shit. Yeah, he never hold so much stash. Exactly. Look, the trash is here. Hit the like, fellow peasants. Catch a replay later. Pure trash. Shadow8171 says, centrifugal and positive displacement blower for Gen 1. What to gas, oil change, and go? You want to gas, oil change, and go? Get a VMP TVS 2.3 liter, twin 65 millimeter throttle body, PMAS 120, ID 1000s or FIC 1000Hs, a BAP, and you just gas and go at 10 PSI. I don't like you, says Rondo Ortiz. Jesus, slinging drugs in the middle school? You did live in the hood. Okay. I mean, look, these guys everyone was hustling. Everyone was hustling in the middle school or high school. I broke that BS cycle. Yes. And the problem is, you could tell that the family was like, he ain't rolling like us. So we're going to like distance ourselves from him because he ain't rolling like us. And then when I show up to a party 2 or 3 years later and I go my brand new Silverado, I had a brand new 3/4 ton Silverado with a 6.0, which I love the motor. And they're like, yo, whose rig is that? And I'm like, mine. And they're like, oh. And I'm like, oh, I mean, you can't be getting that in the tobacco field. I'm sorry. You can't swing this in a tobacco field. Fucking clown show. Currently installing my PMAS. Thank you, Alex and Nick. Louis A. Peace. I'll catch y'all Tuesday, says Eric. Is the EV market hype getting soft? So once Tesla dropped prices, it was the beginning of the end of the hype. Oh, Jesus, this actually does the opposite effect. So Ford is now in deep trouble because now the Model Y base and the Model 3 base is super affordable. So people that were usually Ford purists and they were wanting to fuck with, if you're in the market for a Mach-E and the Model Y is $2,000 more, you're going to get the Model Y. It's just the better one. Sorry, that's just how it is. The amount of recalls Ford has had this year, the amount of just missteps, the extra mile of wire, the 90% down in revenue, it's not a tactic to get some kind of contract year favorable thing. No, because they're not going to tank their company on purpose just to get a better favorable contract for the union shit. Shut up with that contract year shit. You think a company's going to tank 90% of themselves just to get a favorable contract? Bro, they're going to lay motherfuckers off regardless. Their shit has been tanking for a while, and I have noticed. Between the vehicles that I've owned, the tunes that I do, I'm like, this company is just not doing well. It needs a complete, 180. Have you seen the intake manifold? Oh, Jesus Christ. Have you seen the intake manifold Rapid 3D is making for the Coyote? Don't care. My bro divorced twice, working on his third, gonna end up sleeping in the shop pretty soon. Turvey had that opportunity at the parts farm. Look at his decision. Exactly. The parts farm was the move, and he didn't take it. The sad thing is that Alex ain't gonna have a kid. He's not gonna increase the smart side of the population. I'm not smart. I don't want a fucking kid. I don't want to. Imagine my kid goes to school and some fucking purple-haired bitch is talking to him about, gender shit. I would knock her out. I'd have to go take him to private school. So I don't want that shit. I would never bring a child into this world. Maybe you guys can do a better job and you have better resources. Fuck that. No, thank you. That is a fork in the road situation that I decided early on in life. Thank you to motivate me and get a new job. I need more money in hours. Good for you. I don't like you, says Rondo again. Play down 20K, only at 120K now. Not bad for all loan 9-second cards. Full warranty, can make farting sounds. Turvey spat on a great opportunity. Look, I looked at chicken factories when I grew up in the same way you looked at tobacco fields. Nothing against people that work there. I had bigger aspirations as a teenager. Exactly. If you know you're smarter than all the people that you are working with, you're in the wrong spot. You're underutilized. You need to get something that challenges you. And me outpacing someone that is probably, no offense, a lot less smarter than me in the tobacco fucking field, it wasn't something I wanted to do in my life. Ford's investment in that other EV company screwed them bad. Yes, Rivian also screwed them bad. In Austin, I bought a new Mach-E because he hates Elon Musk. Shaking my head. Oh my God. In Austin, a guy bought a new Mach-E because he hates Elon Musk. What a dumbass. My boss has a Mach-E and got in a small fender bender 7 months ago, and she has not gotten her car back because of sensor failures and chip failures. The windshield took forever, but now it just has codes. I still can't believe Turvey turned down a free car, turned me down from bringing all the tools and set up his rear end. He would rather eyeball it. Voodoo 350, couldn't agree more on the kids. I'm 44, married, no kids. Life couldn't be better. Turvey gonna have 5 kids. So, we talked about kids and parents and all that stuff. I'll talk about that later. So, not to leave you on a sad note, but I'll leave you on a sad note. So, my father passed away. He passed away back in October, and I only recently found out. And I think that has to do a lot with how the family structure works. So I'll talk about that. I want to do a video, probably a standalone video, kind of like outlining the kind of person that he was and how he affected my life. But he was 70 years old, badass dude. I wish more parents were like him. He was a badass motherfucker. So I'm going to try to put together something for him so you see his face, talk a little bit about him just to kind of memorialize him for a little bit. So I'll leave you with that. I'll try to get something up sometime this week. Not 100% sure how I'm going to make that happen because I don't have a lot of photos of like, he was very private. But now that he has passed on, I can actually tell you some of the crazy shit that he was involved in. But yeah, it was kind of fucked up how I found out. I had to find out through a Facebook post that was like 4 months old. And I went, wow, that's kind of fucked up. But I will memorialize my father in my way. I'll mourn him in my way. I've already done all the proper mourning that needed to be done. But I think it's a good idea to bring you guys a perspective of how I viewed him and how important fathers are in your life when it comes to making decisions, being the right guy, being honorable, being the whole that shit. That guy taught me badass stuff. So I'll try to get something up there, but I didn't really want to bum you out all day about it. I'll just kind of throw it in at the end of the episode, and I'll try to get something up, memorializing his life. One of these days, I just got to get a lot of shit together compiled so I can do right by him, because not a lot of people knew the man, and I think more people should be like him. All right, sorry to leave you on a bad note like that, but rest in peace, Alejandro Flores Gonzalez, born in July 27th, I think, 1953, and I think he died in October of last year. So 70 years old. I think Alzheimer's got him, a little bit of everything. He just diabetic, didn't really take care of himself, drank a little too much, but loved the dude. The guy was a man's man, so you can't fault him for going out his way. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll try to be back on. I'm gonna be back on Monday, the dating channel. So on the other channel, dating channel, I'll be back on Monday, 8 o'clock. Tuesday, talking shit, and then we'll get it going. All right, guys, have a good rest of your Sunday. Sorry to bum you up, but I thought I'd give you guys some news about that whole situation. I didn't want to monetize that. That's weird to me. So we'll talk about that in the upcoming episodes. But again, Monday, dating channel, 8 o'clock. Tuesday, talking shit. And right after this, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to download 10 more podcasts, reverse chronological order from where it was before, and then post this video up so it could be at the top of the list. So I know it's kind of fucked up if you try to follow the podcast. But try your best to understand that I'm not going to date them all. It just the title should say it all, and the latest video should be at the top. So today's episode should be the latest one you'll see once I upload about 10 or so episodes right after this. All right, have a good rest of your Sunday. I'll see you guys Tuesday or on the dating channel Monday, 8 o'clock. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Bye.